Best things about this campground is the fact that we are right next door to Deception Pass, which is a state park.
Well, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because
it's awesome. I've been on the trail
right
every single
across the
day.
street from the rig. So Stacy's like, we got to go for a hike. Let's go for a hike. She's like a little Jack Russell Terrier. She fed me and then she buttered me up. She's like, all right, let's go for a walk.
I've been over there every day since we've been here.
This isn't the only state park around.
Well, it's the only one we've been next to. I haven't had to drive to get to. I do have to say, one of my favorite things about hiking up here in the Pacific Northwest are all these ferns and all of this green. Like, there is 100 tones of green. Who knew there were so many colors of green? Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I am 5 foot tall, or small, as some people say. And this tree, as you can see, I mean, it's almost at my shoulder. So this thing is crazy huge. I wonder if it made a sound when it fell.
Didn't make the sound.
Welcome to Whidbey Island. We absolutely loved it here. So if you are looking for a place to stop running around from tourist attraction to tourist attraction and find somewhere to slow down, relax, and just enjoy maybe some island time, this is the place for you.
Like Deception Pass. It's the most visited state park in Washington, and for good reason. It is beautiful.
And I absolutely loved it there. Every minute on the trail just really brought me a little zen and a little peace, and I absolutely love being able to walk straight from my front door right across the street.
It would be a great place to park the RV if you can get a reservation. It has over 300 campsites with full and partial hookups. It's not the only state park on Whidbey Island, so keep watching. We have a few more to show you.
We've made it to the tiny waterside town of Langley, which is in the southern area of Whidbey Island, and we are about an hour away from the campground. So this is almost as far south as you can go.
Yeah, it was a nice meandering drive this morning. We had a lot of great conversation as she had a captive audience. So I was the listener and she was the chatter.
Again, I never know what he's going to say or what he's going to reveal. So,
but it was all good. I would call it a business meeting.
Oh, business meeting. Can we write off our travels then?
Yeah.
Write off our fuel?
Let's do that. But this town is pretty nice. I mean, they've got a lot of nice little eclectic shops, and they've got bake shops and coffee shops. Yeah, we had a latte when we first got here, kind of just sit and people watch a little bit, so that was kind of nice.
We found the first line in town right here, and it's at a ramen joint, so it must be really good. So if you come down to Langley, that might be the place to stop.
Who doesn't want to spend time on the beach while looking at snow-covered mountains?
If you make it down here to Langley,
yes.
I always forget where we are, make sure you pop into the Star Store. It is a grocery store. It has a lot of like organic foods, specialty foods, but it also has fresh baked bread, locally sourced from one of the bakeries here on the island. This one is from Screamin' Banshee Bakery. There's a second bakery called the Red Hen, and both of these have great reviews online. So we are trying the Tuscan White, and we're trying the Greek Olive. There's nothing like fresh baked bread locally, and they say that the grain is also locally sourced. That's what one of the ladies said.
And the good thing about this, the Screamin' Banshee, is they deliver every Tuesday through Friday to the store here. So we're hoping that this was just delivered this morning, so it's that fresh.
So we will have to like cut them both in half and freeze some of it because we don't want them to go bad, but doesn't it look yummy? And even though we are watching our girlish figure, man, I said that all wrong, girlish figure.
Yes, we are.
You can have a little bit of bread here and there. I just can't eat the whole thing by myself.
No, because it's very tempting to do so.
One of the best things about full-time RV life is the freedom. But freedom doesn't mean going off the grid entirely. We still need our phones for navigation, checking the weather, or even finding our next favorite trailhead. And when our travel takes us beyond the US, staying connected becomes even more critical. And that's where Airalo comes in. Airalo is a game changer for international travel. No more hunting for local SIM cards, no more crazy roaming charges. With Airalo, you can download an eSIM for your destination straight from their app before you even leave home. When you get there, you're instantly connected, no stress, and no sticker shock. These days, we use our phones for everything: maps, restaurant QR codes, social media, and keeping up with their travel plans. Airalo makes sure you can do all that without draining your wallet in over 200 countries and regions around the world. Use Someday 3 to save $3 off your very first eSIM. Use our link down below in the description or the QR code right here and get yours before your next trip. Whidbey Island sits in Puget Sound just north of Seattle, and believe it or not, it is one of the longest islands in the US at 55 miles long, but it's as narrow as 1.5 miles in some points and only goes to about 10 miles in others.
Yeah, but beware. I don't know why I stuttered. Damn it. But beware, there's only one road in and out of Whidbey Island, which means crazy traffic during peak times, like on Sunday as the mainlanders are heading home. It was crawling until about 2 p.m. while we were there, so we don't recommend coming in on a Friday or leaving on a Sunday, but if you do plan to leave on a Sunday, leave super early. You have two options. Sweetie. All
right, go ahead. Go ahead, Phil, take this one.
You have two options when coming to Whidbey Island, and they are, Stace,
the ferry, or you can take Deception Pass, which is what we did. Now, there are pros and cons to both. So if you want to take the ferry, remember that you're going to have to make a reservation. You're going to have to pay to go on the ferry, which can be, you know, if you have a larger RV, up to about $100 each way. Also, there are going to be wait times. You're going to have to line up. You're going to have to wait. And one of the biggest things to know is it could be very difficult to navigate because it is very narrow spaces. So you'll have to be careful driving your RV on and off the ferry. But there is some pros to taking the ferry. If you want that iconic ferry ride across the Puget Sound, am I saying that right? I always feel like I'm saying it wrong. But anyway, take the ferry. You'll be able to get that iconic view looking at Seattle from the ferry.
I love when she has conversations with herself. I don't even know why I'm here sometimes.
All right, Phil, tell them why driving is not such a bad deal.
Because you get to drive over Deception Pass and you have the view from the bridges as you're going across that are just amazing. But just so you know, driving adds about 45 minutes to your commute over to Whidbey Island if you take Deception Pass.
Bottom line is there's not a right or wrong way to get to Whidbey Island, whether you take Deception Pass or the ferry. Just know that if you decide not to take your RV on the ferry, you can still hop on the ferry and do a day trip from Whidbey to Seattle or a day trip on the ferry over to Port Townsend.
Count the steps, the distance to the time when it was me and you, so far gone. Another face, another friend, another place, another end, but I'll hang on. And it's a winding road, and it's a long way on. So don't wait.
So this park has a really cool art feature where you just go up, you scan the QR code, and then you go over here and the art shows up. So let's see.
Oh, it just popped up. That's
Like a 3D image on my phone.
But it's not there.
That's kind of cool.
Not there. There.
So the question is this a real art piece that is somewhere that's in this app now, or is this all like done on a computer? Welcome to the sculpture forest. So it's about 0.6 miles, and we're gonna walk around and get our steps up on our watch while we check out some sculptures.
Yeah, this is pretty neat with the augmented reality that Stacey just showed you. That's the first time we've ever been to a park that's had that feature.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's different. And they have Wi-Fi out here, so that's kind of crazy. we're in the middle of nowhere.
We're in the forest.
And we get Wi-Fi.
So don't wait for someone to tell you it's too late. 'Cause these are the best days. There's always something tomorrow. So I say, let's make the best of it. Don't wait, 'cause no one can tell you it's too late. 'Cause these are the best days. There's always something tomorrow. So I say, let's make
This might actually be one of my favorite ones. It is so clever to attach this art to fallen down trees, and they did a great job making it look like the actual tree where it was connected.
Yeah, it almost looks like a puzzle or like a Lego set just kind of laid over on itself. It's pretty ingenious. Coupeville was founded in 1852, and it's one of the oldest towns in Washington and second oldest community that is still operating today. Man, I had to do that 5 times. Jeez.
Coupeville is known for its mussels, so if you like mussels, this is the place to get it. But it's also known, not
these
those
mussels.
mussels.
Oh, okay.
It's also known for its laid-back vibe. It's a very artsy kind of vibe. But one of the things that draws people to this town over and over is the fact that the movie Practical Magic with Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman was filmed here. So a lot of people will come here and walk around the streets and remember the background of the movie.
I have
Phil
no
has
idea.
no idea what I'm
No
talking
idea.
about.
Never heard of it?
I
Never
saw
seen
it. It was good.
Okay, glad one of us did. Of course, when you're out exploring and having fun, you have to eat because you've worked up a great big appetite. We found the perfect taco place called Rocket Taco. Man, were the tacos delicious.
Now you're going to find this taco shop on the south side of the island. So if you're going down that way, be sure and look them up.
Tacos are always the answer.
No matter what the question is.
Yeah.
Welcome to Fort Casey State Park. I thought I would bring Phil and let him get his military history on, since military history is the only history I can suck him into.
Yeah. I just like being on the coast, so the military history and the forts are just an added bonus.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. It's a heck of a wrench he's got there.
You know what they say? Big wrenches,
Big nuts.
big bolts.
It says that these big guns are pretty much the last ones like it in the world. Most of the guns at other batteries throughout the U.S. after World War II were all scrapped for their metal.
It's pretty cool. This was the conveyor system they used to bring up either the munitions or, you know, primers or whatever they were using from down below to go into the guns. I think on the side right here they had a handle, a couple handles,
Yeah.
and they would crank it, it looks like, and they would bring it up. It's a cable system.
This campground is really cool. It's very tiny at the state park, but it would be so nice to sit here and watch the ferry go back and forth all day, every day. That would totally relax me.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. And bonus, it's big enough that large cruise ships are going up and down the waterway out there, so that's pretty neat to see.
It's the sound.
I can see it in my rearview mirror right now.
Yeah.
Big old cruise ship.
The only trick is, something I never do, is you have to book early because these things will fill up. Which is why we are in a private campground paying way more than you would pay staying here. And our views are not nearly as good as the ferry views.
Learn from our mistakes, please. Fort Casey was built in the early 1800s and is known for its two 10-inch disappearing guns. And if you planned better than we did, you could tour the Admiralty Head Lighthouse, which was built in 1903.
If you're planning your trip to Whidbey and you're hoping to stay on a state park, check out this one. Fort Casey has 22 full hookup sites and 13 partial hookup sites, and they sit right on the Sound. I'm telling you, you will not be sad watching that ferry pull in and out and watching the ships pass by. But the best part is whales are always passing by this place too. So you have a good chance of spotting a few whales. Oh, we were also told sunsets from this place are epic. Fort Casey sits on the southern part of Whidbey Island. So if you're catching the ferry, it might be the perfect place for you to stop for a while.
So just book early.
way early. If you're in the military, you will constantly hear about staying on Whidbey Island at the military campground. So we thought we'd come over and check it out a little bit. So the best thing about the campground is it's literally right on the water. So if you have a waterfront site, you have a wonderful site.
Yeah. If you're here, you want to face the water. A lot of these sites are back in, but if you have a Class A, you want to pull that nose in. So make sure you have an extension cord to reach under your rig to the pedestal. You're welcome.
Okay, the next good thing about these sites is there's a trail. I was told it was 4 miles long all along the water. So we're going to check out some of that trail. And in case you're wondering, sites here start at 43 bucks a night. Waterside is 53 bucks a night. And you can stay here for a month for as cheap as 900 bucks a month. Anybody watching have a sign here at the campground? Let us know down in the comments and let us know what it says. See if you can find yours.
Whidbey Island is the perfect place to hear the sound of freedom. Whether you're staying at the NAS or out in town, they're everywhere. They fly really close. At one point, I thought they were going to land on Ruby. That's how close they were. So I jumped out, grabbed the camera, and recorded them. But it's a sound that I've heard throughout my career, and it never gets old.
So please be aware, if you're coming to Whidbey Island, you are going to hear these jets fly overhead. When they're doing drills, they can fly for hours at a time, and they do night ops too. So don't be surprised if they're still flying after dark. It's just something to be aware of. It definitely is not something that should keep you from going to Whidbey Island, because it is amazing not only to experience the island, but to actually hear these jets flying overhead, because you know these Navy guys and gals are out there working hard for us.
All right, getting underway, so we're doing our checks, and I have a PSA for you. Check your nuts. Your hubcap nuts, that is. The ones that go right here on the old rear axle hubcap. This guy here, we had a guy come out and wash the rig, and as he was washing it, he said, hey, one of your hubcap nuts is loose. So I went and I tried to tighten it back up, and it would not tighten. The threads had gotten stripped in the middle, so it was just loose, and eventually it would have just fallen off. These things were 52 bucks each. Now I'll go get my hubcap wrench and tighten it down so it's nice and secure.
After 7 days on Whidbey Island, we are getting ready to pack it up and head out. I have to say, I've really enjoyed it here. There are state parks for you to visit right here on this island. There are not a ton of private campgrounds. It's a pretty cool place to come and visit and check out.
One of the struggles we had when we pulled into this very narrow site in the campground was that they had these huge divots back here that had we put the rig tires in those divots coming back, we probably would have scraped the transmission. That's how low we are. It's a good 5 to 6 inch divot into the asphalt. And if you air down, you have to take into consideration how low you're going to go and what's underneath. And if you're in a hole like that, one, you're probably going to scrape or hit something, and two, you're probably going to have a hard time leveling. Always look before you level.
These are the best